Hello there. By the time you're watching this video, it's November and Christmas is fast approaching, but we do have some sets. Last year, we only had one set and one gift with purchase. You might remember the video. Well, this year, we've got two sets and two gift with purchases. One was technically end of October, so we're not including that. We've got the X-Men Mansion and the Botanical Garden, each with their own gift with purchase. And there may be more throughout November, but for the simplicity of titling this video like the sequel of last year, we're going to be looking and talking about both of those. As you can see, the sets are up on your screen and we have quite a few for January. So before we get to the X-Men Mansion and Botanical Garden, which both are pretty cool sets, you can already see one on screen. There are a few other Moana sets. We've got Sonic. We've even got some Animal Crossing and Mario sets that have already come out for the January wave. So if you would like to take a closer look at these, head over to lego.com and be sure to give them a look for yourself. We're going to start off with the X-Men Mansion, which is probably the most popular out of the two. Now, the figure lineup for this set is looking pretty good, but there are some minifigures that are missing. First off, in the original images on the site, and in fact the description, everything, Jean Grey was missing. And we'll take a look at the first image actually, because you might be able to see Jean in this first image has a blue face where it's not been rendered in properly. Now, we all know and have known for quite some years that Lego are no longer using actual images on their website and instead using renderings, most likely through the Bricklink Studio app. But it is really funny to spot when a mistake makes it past all of the checks and is still up to the website as of recording this video. As of the other minifigures, we're seeing the return of Wolverine, the return of Storm, though Storm is a massive upgrade from the CMF version, in my opinion. The only thing you'd need to take over is the legs from the CMF minifigure. Cyclops, likewise, from the X-Men Jet, has some leg printing, which is really nice to see, though Rogue is, as far as I'm aware, the exact same minifigure. Iceman is a great addition to go with Firestar from the Daily Bugle for any Spider-Man fans of the 80s, or like myself, if you grew up with a DVD collection. Though Gambit doesn't have dual molded legs, I'm sure there are going to be some custom sellers selling those dual molded legs soon, because the minifigure is otherwise perfect and I really love the accessory he comes with. We'll take a look at that in just a second. Bishop is the next minifigure along, and again, it's another great minifigure to be getting, like Jean Grey, who both of which we haven't ever got in a set before, though technically we have got the Phoenix as a Comic-Con exclusive. Magneto is definitely a weird addition to this set, and I think they should have just scrapped Magneto and given us a much better printed Charles Xavier, as the head is a reuse from Loki and the torso, I believe, is a reuse from the Office set. And in dark blue, they haven't even given us the green one from the Muppet or Simpsons CMF line. Though that chair build is an amazing piece, and whilst I don't think it looks as good as mine, it's a bit closer to scale. It does make a great piece to display next to the set. So if you're spending the £290, you're not really spending it for minifigures. That's what the X-Men Jet is out for, and that is what the CMFs are, of course, mostly for. But the set itself does look really cool. It's a complete back, which does get many complaints with other play scale sets. And whilst it isn't to any specific scale, I think it works with all the minifigures around and all the different play features and all of the hidden references. We do not have time to cover them in this video without making this a couple hours long. But if you do want to watch someone else's review, I'm sure they'll point a few out. Something I think has gone under the radar for most people is this giant Sentinel, which is the biggest we've got so far. And it looks like they have gone even bigger than the headpiece they gave us with the CMFs. If you aren't aware, the headpiece we got with Wolverine is actually scaled to the original Sentinels, and throughout the X-Men animated show, we see them get almost twice the size, which is what this Sentinel seems to scale to. So without taking any measurements, I can approximate that this is a later on in the X-Men animated series Sentinel, which is really cool to be getting a larger one with a larger set. Now, though the minifigures are all over the place in terms of whether they come from the movies, whether they come from the comics or the animated shows, or even like Iceman, have just been thrown in as a mix of all of the above. I think that's definitely what's needed for a set like this to please every corner of the fan base. And I think if you like this set, chances are you'll be picking it up day one for the gift with purchase. The gift with purchase should be available from the early days when this goes on sale, starting November the 4th. Although, as you can see at the bottom of the screen, insiders do get access to it from today. So if you want that gift with purchase, make sure it's still in stock. The gift with purchase that is rumored is a Cerebro machine, which doesn't actually come as part of the mansion, which is a little surprise to me considering the role it plays in the X-Men movies. But like the X-Men mansion, it comes with another Charles that is, in my opinion, below par. So hopefully we can see a few custom minifigures out there that people are building to add to this set. The other set coming out today is the Botanical Garden. And you might be thinking this was already released, but what we're thinking of is the Friends set, which in my opinion does hold up to this version. This is available from the 4th, but likewise with the X-Men mansion, it will be made available to insiders as of today, both online and I do believe they hand it out early in stores as well. Insiders is completely free to join and I'm not being paid to advertise this, so I won't speak anymore, but if you haven't checked it out, just go give it a check out on LEGO's website because you also earn a few bonus points for your spending. Though I'm sure most of you have already got an Insiders account and don't need to be told that. The Botanical Garden comes with a massive 3,792 pieces, which even just on face value makes it seem a lot more worth that $289.99 price tag, at least here in the UK. But this Botanical Garden does also come with a few bonus minifigures. As you can see on your screen, the minifigures have been paired up. We've got 2 workers. We've got a grandfather with their grandchild. We then have a parent with a child picking flowers. We have 2 more workers to put in the Botanical Gardens. We have an elderly couple with a puppy, and then we also have a partially sighted person with a photographer who seems to be some kind of carer. And you can even mix it up and create some stories for yourself. And that is one of the big draws to these botanical sets and just modulars in general. If you wondered about the interior of the build, the roofs do pop open and it's actually separated into 3 separate sections. We've got the main body in the middle, which is a ton of flowers, and you also have some massive plants that can pull out as well. Then over to the left-hand side, we have the cactuses, dependent which way you are looking, and over on the right, we have a little cafe, which is where they sit, the elderly couple. But that is not where all the flowers are. As you can see around the front, there are so many trees, plants, and even wildlife, as there are a ton of birds, rabbits, and other animals featured throughout this set. Between you and me, I still think for our wallets, it will probably be better buying a set like this, the Friends Botanical Garden, which is coincidentally sold out and retiring soon. Though I'm sure there's probably plenty of stock wherever else you buy your Lego. And if you're worried about the mini dolls, you can always put them away or give them to a family member and go in store, pick up this set, which I'm still is definitely very well in stock, no matter what the website tells us, and get a few minifigures off the band wall, as there's a few decent selections that I think could go really well with a set such as this. And the Botanical Garden does also have its own gift with purchase, which is a really cool entry arch, though there's not as many pieces to the Cerebro. So I don't think it will be convincing many people to pick up the set. It will just be a nice addition for those of you that are. And if you did wonder why I'm dressed like this the day before Halloween, in fact, it's the day after for you, but I am recording this early. Go check out my short from Wednesday and that explains everything. But that is all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you're picking up. Maybe it's neither of these sets, but you're picking up something that released a couple of months ago, or perhaps something retiring soon. There will be a big video where we go over every retiring soon set. Perhaps that can be also a future stream on the channel. Check out the other videos on screen now, including recently I made 3 minifigures from the Wednesday series completely from scratch. So I hope you enjoyed. Check that out if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, and may the bricks be with you always.